Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a picture here in this book. Let's find the cover. Here we go. Ticket to Dreams by Karolina. I can pronounce it when I'm not on camera, but I cannot figure it out while I'm on here. So I'm going to do this owl here. Now it's already got a pretty dark background, but you can tell that he kind of comes down a little here, and there's probably a branch in this area. The background I am going to ink into blues. I'm going to add some blue to it. I've got a forest moss for the leaves. For the flowers, I'm going to do Victorian velvet aged mahogany. Owl is going to be done in a few colors of brown. And I'm inking him. So here we go. We're going to get the camera down just a touch more. And we'll probably work up at the top of the page first. So that'll help you out a little bit. Have to look at the gigantic thing, or I could leave it up and we could just do the whole page and I don't have to move it. Excuse me. Get a little tickle in my throat for some reason. We're going to start on his face. So I've got out... I also have a piece of paper here we're going to throw in the background. Not because it's going to bleed through this paper. It's so thick, but I want to be able to go off the edges. And I want to have something back there. So I'm going to start off with the scattered straw, which is kind of a light yellowy color. I don't know what color I brought this one out for. That's the pink set. Green set's okay, it's got to be this one. Okay. This is a tool just like the other tools that I use, except for this one's from scrapbook.com. The pads are the same. They're all Tim Holtz. I happen to like those the best. It's just me. So we're going to lay a little of this in the light areas here. And just pull it up his ears. This paper likes to drink up color ink-wise, so you might have to go in a few times to get this color in here. Same with watercolor. I noticed when I did a watercolor page, it liked to drink up that too, which was nice. I'm going to add it down the chest here. And then it'll get darker as we go out. I think that's good. We have our moon. Boom, 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 boom. The moon's colored in. That is on this page and highlighting our little dude here. Okay. Probably should have other colors out. I don't know. We're going to go in with a little wild honey. And a few areas here around his eyes, just to brighten those up a little. Okay. Right down here on his beak area. In fact, we will do his beak in that color. That already brightens his face up. We'll add a little bit of that over here. And going down on that side. That should be about it. Might want to put a little in his eyes here too. It's our bright color. Next color we're going to bring in is tea dye. I am using the same pad for all of these colors, going from the light to the darkest, I believe. But I'm also switching it up to corners so I know what corners I'm using. Okay, a little of that right in that eye area, right in the center across here, right above his beak, and bring that color upward. Crossed up here to his fur, his feathers, and go up his ear. You can see his ear, right? Like I said, I'm trying to work on one portion of him at a time. A little darkness under his fluff there. And then bring it down the wing again. And we're going to take this color down this side and bring it right into that black. So we're creating a color here. And bring that upward. Okay. Don't know if you could see that. Okay, we'll do it on this side. Bring that color down. And bring it upward. We're creating his base here. We're going to darken that up pretty well. Kind of bringing it up in stripes to represent his feathers. There we go. Okay, that'll seep into the page. Going to go in with some brushed corduroy now. Go on the other side. Going to throw some of that in there too. Bring it up the wing here. There we go. Go up to his face again. Put a little of that on that side of him. His face up here, where it's the darkest. Go outside his eyes and then pull it down. So use that line and then pull it this way. And darken them up there. Darken right underneath that one, and right up here on the top of his head. We're going to pull that down. Okay, in between these wings going down where it's almost black, we're going to put this color. Okay. Vintage photo, same thing. Go in with a little of that. Okay, I'm going to take a little stick here and we're going to work in his eyes. So we're just going to take some of that vintage photo and bring it down in here. Darken up some of these areas. Okay. Go back in and get some of that scattered straw. Maybe the wild honey instead. That one's pink. Let's try this one. A little of that in there. Okay. So far that is what we have. If it comes down, we could have a branch across there, but we're going to go in with the green. This is the forest moss, and we're going to hit all our leaves that are here. I think that's a flower, I don't know. Could be leaves. I'm going to make it leaves so it's not a flower. Okay, this side. So how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to kind of go over the black a little bit because we're going to put in color in here anyway. Almost done. I think that's a shadow of a leaf there, so we're going to mark it. Okay. There's the pink on this side. Start off with the Victorian velvet, and we're going to do the flowers. We've got a couple of them, one down here. Going to get that pink color, and then this one over here. And we'll do that with the berries too. Just put that color on first. The berries around this side. Okay, then we're going to bring in aged mahogany. This is going to be our shadow color to the light pink. So put it on one side of those berries. Center of these. Okay, down here on these berries. And on this flower here. Get everything that was pink. I'm going to throw a little of that color, the aged mahogany, in his feathers and his eyes. Not getting dark enough for me. Okay. All right, there's a little beak on this side and a little over here. Just adds a nice little touch to his feathers and doesn't make the brown look all one-dimensional. There we go. Okay, lid for that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, down here on the bottom, we have to have him sitting on something, and these guys are going across. So I'm going to pull out this one, and we're going to take out the forest moss. Load it up on one side, and we're going to come across here and just put in a branch. Goes to these guys over here. And it'll come down a little ways. We'll bring a branch up here. This will barely show, but we'll know it's there. If you want, you can take that extra color and just run it over all the leaves. Just get those white tips taken care of. Okay. And we'll take the pinky one and go in with some of the Victorian velvet and just go around the white parts of the flowers and the berries so the white tips don't show on those. Okay. Forest moss needs to be closed with that lid. Don't put the lids on when I'm doing the work. Eeks. Okay, so we're going to bring in a little of the blues, chipped sapphire, and we're going to go around the edges. Boom. Right over the black. Bring that down in there. You'll put a darker color on these leaves. Okay, then we're going to mix in a little bit of the prized ribbon. It is going to look splotchy. Don't worry about that. It will dry on this paper just a little different than it dries on other papers. We're going to bring that blue all the way down. Also throw that in our little branch down here. There we go. Lid won't go back on. Okay. Then I'm going to get out some pencils and we will do some pencil work, so hold on. Okay, it should be dry enough. So I'm going to bring in the leaves. I've got two colors here, oxide, chroma oxide green and olive green yellowish. So if we want to add a little color to these guys, we're just going to go in with those two colors. Darken up the areas where they're connected to the stems here. Maybe we'll just use the one color. So you're just kind of going in where the stem would meet a branch and or where the darkest lines are here, just to make it darker. To blend out any color that didn't put down too good with the ink, and then kind of draw in some lines with these berries. Kind of like the effect I got up there with the blue on them. So I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, so the leaves got a little color. The flowers have got a medium flesh here. So we're going to add that in. I like that blue too. Just goes around on all the berries. Then you can put in some caput mortem, or no, I've got Indian red here. Then we're just going to put that in just to give them a little bit more color here. Yeah, I'm skipping over the eyeball in that. I'm going to put a little of this in the eyes up here. A little in his beak, and a little in his feathers area, right up around in here. Okay. Bring in some browns here. We have brown ochre. Just going to add some shadows in here. then we'll go in with a little bit of Bistre. Kind of defining up a few of these little feathers. Okay, then we're going to bring in a little bit of dark sepia here. Turn the book a little bit. I'm going to use that to darken these areas around his eye. Okay, right here. I'm going to define some more of these feathers here. The same on the other side. Cut down his wing here. There's not as much definition in these guys. But we're even going to add it in if you can't see it very well. Bring in some of those. Okay, and we're going to go in with a little white of Prisma. sharpen it a tiny bit. And we're also going to bring in some feather fluff with that. Since this is nice and dark, it'll work real well. Just have to remember to turn this pencil around a little bit. We're going to have that fluff right off the page up there. And here you can make them as fluffy as you want. You don't want to get it too wild in here. Just cover that back up. You can go over it with the ink if you want. Boom, it's gone. Okay, a little bit of Posca in his eye here. Get those to come to life, and then we will see what we need to do with him here. Okay, we're gonna get some black wherever the black is, hiding. Nope, that's burnt umber. Black. And we're gonna deepen this area here. His pupil, which I probably should have done prior to putting the Posca in, but my bad. We can go around that. Okay. Then we're going to take the little feathers that are up in here and darken those a lot. Get her eye done here. I'll have to put that Posca back in there. Here we go. Outline his little beak here. Go back around and darken up some of these areas. I'm just going to darken this area, leave it kind of sketchy. Doesn't have to be perfect down there. Doesn't have to be perfect anywhere. We just want to add some shadows, that's all. That's all I'm doing. We already did the inking, and we can bring ink on top of that. I'm going to bring a darker line here for our branch. I mean, you're not really going to see this branch, but it's going to be there. And it has to be kind of wide, so we'll have it come down on that side. And the owl's got to sit on it. Okay, then we're going to put some feet here. So 3 toes on that side and 3 toes on this side. You can bring in lighter color and highlight them. We just want to see them a little bit. We don't want to see them a lot. So there you go. Go back over them with a little color. They're there, but we don't notice them that much, okay? Especially that one. This is the darker part of the page. All right, so far so good. I think I want to we'll add a couple shades of brown in here. Just so it looks more like a tree trunk. Throw some branches in here that are brown. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to throw a little bit of extra color down in here. I just have to figure out what color I'm going to throw down there. Got to put a paper back under it. So I think we'll go ahead with the chip sapphire. Which one's blue? Okay. And we're just going to dot it down in here. Get a little darker in this area. Yeah, that paper just drinks that ink right in, which is kind of cool. Just going to go around him and bring it out. I want him around dark, but I want kind of a glow around him with the white. There we go. Then I'll just add a touch more of the white around in this area. Just lightly touching the page. Do it on this side too. Okay, just going to mess with it a little bit. Going to take our brown color, just go in with some corduroy here. Just touch back some of that white. There we go. Might just darken it up just a touch more on the top up here in the corners. This is just the prized ribbon. Kind of splotch it in here and there, then it'll help make that splotchiness look like it's intentional. Eeks, can't do that terribly well. Oh, he looks kind of cool. Gonna bring in a little black soot. Maybe, possibly, if it's in this drawer. Should be. It's in one of these drawers. It's black. There we go. And do I have a black? Yes, I do. A little black inking pad. So we'll take off the blue one. Throw on the black one, and add a little black in the corners. And a little black down on the bottom. Hold on just a second. I have to hit a button on that. Here we go. Yeah, hopefully that is filming. A little annoyed at my camera sometimes. So we darken that with the black. And just put some black in here. Then put some black down in here. And I know it looks splotchy, but it's not going to be once it dries. Okay. So far that is what we got, and I'm going to call it. I'm going to take a picture after it dries and leave it at the end of the video. I think it looks pretty well done the way I wanted it to look. So I am going to, like I said, take a picture at the end of the video, leave it there for you to look at, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. But it does have to dry. All the ink. It'll look a little different. I like how the owl turned out. Just add a little shadowing up here. Just take one of your browns, the lighter of the colors, and go down one side of those feathers. Just to get it a little browner. Color any of your white in you don't want to see. Boom. There we go. Like I said, I'll take a picture at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Take care, everyone. Bye now.